So you're a few years into your first Wall Street job, either at a hedge fund, a bank, or a private equity firm, doesn't matter. And you're looking at all these senior people in your firm and hoping you will become senior like them over time. You're navigating your career. Let's talk about how to do that best in today's episode. Hi, I'm Shalabh Garg, 25-year veteran of Wall Street. I've worked at a bank, a hedge fund. I own currently my own hedge fund. I know everything there is to know about Wall Street, and hopefully today's episode will be informative for you in managing your career in the coming years. First of all, if you've seen my last many episodes, you already know that I believe that an educational background can be of any varying nature to succeed in Wall Street. It doesn't matter what you studied. It doesn't matter what college you went to. It doesn't matter whether you're a statistics major, a philosophy major, an English major, or it doesn't matter what major. So personality type is a common one amongst all Wall Street professionals, which is type A, attention to detail, and extremely aggressive about managing their careers, but not wearing that aggression on your sleeve, controlling that aggression, but at the same time competing at the highest level of performance, just like you would if you were an NFL player, a basketball player, a high-performing teacher, a movie actor or an actress. It does not matter. It's a talent business, and you hopefully have the talent as reflected in your personality, not your education. At the same time, there's a few key things I would say that you need to be extremely, extremely good at to continue to succeed as a young professional of Wall Street. Attention to detail. Do not make mistakes. Mistakes cost your employer money directly. If you're in a trading job, you price security incorrectly, it's directly money out of their pocket. If you're in a private equity firm, make mistakes in the presentation that you help for your banker or your senior deal maker, it costs them reputation. That reputation costs them money. Don't make mistakes. Check your work 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Have your manager check your work. Try to do that repetitive work that feels so horrible sometimes because it's the same thing over and over again, every day, day in, day out. For your employer, carries a lot of importance. So manage it, control it, do the best you can to not make mistakes. I know it's repetitive, but your employer is paying you tons and tons of money for that repetitive work, both in your form of your base salary and the year-end bonus. So take it seriously. Find your enjoyment in the repetitive nature of it. What do I mean by that? The work product that you create, own it. If you're pricing securities or selling securities in a trading job, or if you're creating presentations in a private equity or a banking job, take that work product and think of it as an entrepreneur, as work that you own, as a work that has your name on it, and take enjoyment in it, take joy in it. I know it sounds like, how can I take joy on something that often goes nowhere? Well, that is what you've done. And the skill that you create out of it, by doing it again and again, will make you better at it. As time goes by, a year, 2 years, 3 years, you will become so good at it that the work that used to take you 10 hours takes you 5 hours, then 2 hours, and then you will become senior more and more and more, and before you know it, you will be where you want to be and taking those big bonuses. It's not very different than being an entrepreneur. It's just a different nature of it. As a true entrepreneur in tech and so on, you're managing resources, you're managing an idea, you're selling an idea. Here, you're managing people around you. You're managing information around you. There's a sea of humanity all in Wall Street of the same personality type that you have to offer. So just remember, they all think exactly the way you think. There is no difference whatsoever. So be careful, be engaged, be attentive, and don't take it lightly in terms of the importance of your work, even though it may often feel like it's going nowhere. The second thing I want to talk about is turnover. The one thing I see propensity of in young professionals is to increase their compensation from a few $100,000 to 20% higher or 30% higher is a propensity to take jobs. Let me leave this bank to join another bank. Let me leave this consulting firm or leave this private equity firm to join another private equity firm. Let me leave this hedge fund to join another hedge fund. Bad, bad, bad idea. You can do that once, you can do that twice. The more line items you will have on your resume, the worse and more dilutive that resume will become. The people that rise through the ranks at the same place, navigating the challenges that rising through the rank brings, it's not that different from General Electric in 2000 or joining Goodyear Tires in 1975. It's not that different. People who stick it out. You know what? It's not that different at Apple either. People who become division heads and CEOs are people that have stayed at the same firm for 20 years and 30 years. Patience is an easy thing to say and a difficult thing to achieve. It's so much easier to get out of a tough situation at a company and join another company. That's an easy way out. No different than just leaving a tough marriage and joining another marriage. If you stay at the same employer and rise through the ranks, your resume will gain gravitas. It'll become one of a young professional to a mature one, and you were VP, then you were ED, then you were managing director. I cannot tell you how valuable that is. And by the time you're managing director, in 10 years or 12 years, you will see all your colleagues having changed 5 jobs and still hanging around at VP or ED level because they just did not put in the effort that it takes to survive at the same employer and rise through the ranks. There's a lot of value to it. Don't take it lightly. Even if that means their compensation in the initial years may not be growing as quickly and as many of your colleagues are. You may not go from 300 to 500 or 600 as quickly as your friends or colleagues who are changing, but I promise you, you will go from 500 grand to 5 million in a shorter time than they will, and they may even be looking for jobs to work for you because you've made MD while you stayed at the same employer, and they've sort of plateaued out by changing jobs again and again and again. Dress for the job that you want and not the job that you have. It's an important point I want to make. I see often that people will take, especially in today's culture where it's a dress down culture, it's no longer the case that you have to wear suits to Wall Street or ties to Wall Street. That does not mean that you don't dress up well. Don't show up in random clothes every day or the same clothes every day because you think nobody's watching. You will always find these few people who seem to rotate their wardrobe on a very routine basis. I'm not talking about expensive wardrobe. I know you don't have the budget for it, but it would be nice to spend money on clothes that tailor well to you. If you're probably not the tallest and the hankiest and the most beautiful and the most, because that's not and if you are, even if you are, dress in well-tailored clothes that fit, clothes that don't make you feel like you're disrespecting the colleagues you're working with. You know what it shows when you show up in clothes that don't fit? That you don't care, that your colleagues are not people you want to respect, because they are the ones that have to look at you, and they're not looking to romance you, right? They're just looking at you as a colleague and a professional. And if you dress up poorly in front of them, it shows indiscipline, it shows that you don't care, it shows that you don't respect the employer you're at, and it shows that you just don't care. It's a bad way to be. Dress in well-tailored clothes that fit. Even if they don't have to be branded clothes, even if you wear Gap and Banana Republic, I don't care. Just wear clothes that tailor well and are fit to you. Leave sleeves that are not too long, length that is not too loose. Just clothes that look fitted and make you look professional. Now that we've spoken of, how to manage your day-to-day as a Wall Street professional, as a young Wall Street professional, how to dress, what to do, what to focus on, attention to detail. The question is, how do you translate all that into a good year-end bonus? After all, that's why you're in that repetitive, high-stress job, because you want to get paid at the end of the year. And remember one thing about bonuses. If you are waiting until the end of December to find out your bonus, most likely your bonus is going to suck. People that get paid well have a good visibility on what to expect much before the bonuses are announced. Either your boss or your superior or your division head will take you into a room or guide you as a group as to what to expect to get paid. And bonuses and promotions are very separate from each other. You may get promoted and get paid shit, and you may not get promoted but get paid very well. And ultimately, to get paid well at the end of the year, the one thing that is important to remember at your level, where you're not an MD yet, is that you're not expected to do a lot. You're just expected to do what you've been asked to do really, really well. You may see this high-flying colleague who is going to every golf outing and is just doing all kinds of things, but by the time the end of the year comes, he or she is getting paid really, really poorly. Why? Because she did not do what was asked to her. Just focus on what you're asked to do, and don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't try to take initiative that it's not needed. Your manager and their manager are guiding you to manage your day and to do what you're asked to do. Because what they are focused on is getting a bigger picture job done. And if they cannot count on you to do what you've been asked to do well, correct, with no mistakes, and by asking the least amount of questions. Because if you can ask 10 questions about every project or every assignment or every security you're looking to price, they might as well do it themselves. What is the point of you doing it for them? But if you can do it independently by focusing it on your day and just doing it to perfection, you will get paid well at the end of the year. I know we covered a lot of ground in today's podcast. I talked about how to manage your day as a young professional. I talked about what skills to focus on. I talked about how to negotiate bonus, how to negotiate your career. Feel free to reach out to me. I offer a consulting hour. I can talk about all these topics specifically tailored to your resume and your career in whatever company and whatever position you may be working on. Do not hesitate to reach me. The information is right below you on the box below you. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my podcast because it helps me grow. With that, see you next time. This is Finance Dad signing off.